Good afternoon, everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Thursday as we approach the weekend. But we are going to be discussing more severe weather to continue here, and also some possible big-time severe weather to continue into next week. And that's when we could be seeing another tropical system. A week, I think, after next week could have. We do have some sort of system showing up in the models. That could be our next tropical storm in the Caribbean and the Gulf of Mexico. So today's severe weather outlook, we do have a slight risk for severe weather in a bunch of areas here, reaching from the Rockies going into portions of the Arkansas and Missouri Valley. And as you can see, we do have a tornado risk with this. We have a small area of a 5% chance for tornadoes up there in Nebraska, Kansas, and a little bit there of Colorado. And that's where you could see potential for a couple tornadoes possible, but they're not going to be anything significant expected. This is going to be right next to the Rocky Mountains, so really not anything significant is expected, but just keep a watch on it. And we do have a 2% risk of tornadoes around that. Again, just keep watch of that. There isn't really anything significant expected, but for wind, we do have that significant chance there for winds. We do have upwards of 65-mile-per-hour winds expected in that kind of hatch black region. And I didn't mention this, but we also have a marginal risk reaching all the way down here across the Gulf of Mexico, even going into the East Coast for some isolated severe storms today as well. And for hail, we also have another significant chance here for 2-inch plus sized hail. Could be possible within that hatched area. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in effect here until 8 p.m. Mountain Daylight Time for portions of the New Mexico, Colorado, Texas, and Oklahoma. They're expected for some storms later on, or that's actually going on right now, but not anything again significant. There's mainly going to be severe thunderstorm watches for that hail and wind threat, but again, tornadoes, they could be possible. So we may see a couple tornado warnings later on this evening. We will definitely keep an eye on it, but I'm just probably not going to go live for today, but tomorrow we do have a chance. And here is tomorrow's outlook, which I did say we do have a chance for a live stream tomorrow. We have an enhanced risk for severe weather expected across Louisiana, Arkansas, going into Mississippi. And that's where you could expect here some possible severe weather for tomorrow, or likely severe weather technically. As you can see, we do have a tornado chance, not a high one, but we do have a 2% risk of tornadoes tomorrow. Surprisingly lower than today, as we do have a slight risk today, but an enhanced tomorrow. But that's just the way things are as we head into the spring, more of the summer months in the weather season. Now, a main threat for tomorrow is going to be winds here. We do have a 30% chance here for possibly 75-mile-per-hour winds. So dangerous winds expected across the south tomorrow, and we do also have a hail threat. Not a big hail threat again, but not even a significant hail threat, to be honest here. We only have a 15% chance here for quarter-sized hail. Again, one of those main threats are going to be wind for tomorrow, but we are going to have a bigger chance for all hazards today. Saturday, it looks to be we might get a break from severe weather. Finally, we do have a general thunderstorm risk for most of the country, but generally, it looks like there's not much space for marginal risks. Again, there's also potential for severe storms down here. There may be a marginal risk over here in Florida, over here in the north. Day 3 is usually a little bit. This usually changes a lot. So we will have to keep a watch on day 3, but hopefully it'll stay like this when we have a break from the severe weather and all that. Now, like I said, the GFS model, we've been keeping a close eye on it because we do have a potential tropical cyclone, even a hurricane possible in the Gulf of Mexico as we head to around mid-June or so. So let's go ahead and forward to around June 12th. As you can see, look at this. We have a Pacific hurricane, Eastern Pacific hurricane, possibly even a major hurricane possible for around June 13th, hitting Mexico. Once again, just a little west of that Category 2 hurricane. And it did go in portions of southern Mexico. This is going into a little more of central Mexico, central southern Mexico, still a little southern. But as you can see, again, another hurricane possible. And that's only about 115 hours out. So we're going to watch that closely. And look at that, another storm, possibly a tropical cyclone heading into Florida once again. As we head into around June 17th, around that time frame. And then once again, look at this, another tropical storm, and another one over here is just non-stop here. So June 17th looks to be we might get a tropical storm, even a hurricane. This is not going to be going. This is going to be going into a very hurricane-prone place, according to the GFS model. At the same time, though, this is going to be 300 hours out, so we will have to watch this closely. However, it's not a concern right now. But again, a lot of people have been watching this very closely. We do have a lot of warm waters and not a bunch of shear. We are getting those really warm waters right now in the Gulf of Mexico. Still rising temperatures. Actually, you can these waters usually get up to 31, 32 Celsius in the late summer months, like August. But we are still seeing a little low on the temperature scale for typically major hurricanes. But if there's not much shear, and if these environments could be well put together, we could definitely see a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico in June. It's definitely that possibility that we can't really ignore, because we don't typically see these types of hurricanes in June, especially major hurricanes in the Atlantic. But again, it's still that possibility. If the right ingredients are there, the right environments are there, that's going to be a big possibility there. So we're going to have to watch that closely as we head into mid-June. I will keep you updated on that, and maybe even some more detailed videos if the GFS model does continue to trend that. Like I said, we are going to be seeing a uptick of severe weather for next week. This is the Cape surface, so the convective available potential energy within the atmosphere. This is pretty much thunderstorm fuel, what thunderstorms pretty much fuel off of to get developed and keep going. This is one of those main ingredients there. So this is going to be this weekend. We are going to have some energy across the central U.S. as we head into early next week. Look at this. This is going to be around Monday. Possibly some more storms up there in the north for Monday. And then we head into Tuesday. Tuesday looks to be mainly capped, but we're going to have to watch out for that as well. But Monday and into Wednesday, possibly some very widespread severe weather could be expected if there's not much cap in the region. This could be a very widespread event there. But again, the only reason why some storms, you have a bunch of cape like this, and you think that there's going to be so many storms across this region, and there's usually just a little pocket of storms in a certain region. That's where the typical trough lays. So the cold front and low pressure is typically up here in these types of setups, and they usually bring severe weather to the northern plains. And then there's even some potential for severe weather down here, where there's not much cap as well. And if there is cap, those storms are going to have to break the cap. So you're going to have a lot of energy. So typically these areas up north where that trough lays is where those storms are expected to develop, rather than down here where there's really no cold front reaching that area yet. So definitely one of the main concerns here for next week is going to be the northern Midwest. That's where you could expect some severe weather for mid next week there. As you can see, that we head forward and energy just continues. And then you do have another cold front moving in around Thursday, bringing more severe weather potential. So next week definitely could have that potential here for just multiple days of severe weather like we did see this week. Definitely a lot to watch closely. Definitely a very active weather pattern ahead. And just to verify this, we could see severe weather. Moisture is definitely not going to be a concern with this. We can look here at the dew point temperatures. So the moisture that is lifted from the Gulf of Mexico, as you can see, we are definitely seeing plenty of moisture. This is no longer March and April. This is June. So you typically see a very substantial amount of moisture. And at this point, where you see this much moisture is constantly being lifted north, this is where you typically get to the stage here in the Midwest and the Central Plains, where you typically see just those general summer thunderstorms, and they typically last only a few minutes. They're really not severe, and they're typical summer thunderstorms once you get into July and August across the Midwest and Central Plains, even the Southeast. Typically, this area of the U.S. Does see general summer thunderstorms throughout the months of late June into July and August. And this is typically where you get to the stage where we do switch to hurricane season. But sometimes we do see some major severe weather, like the August 10th derecho across the Midwest that did bring like 110 mile per hour winds, which was absolutely insane. We did see also multiple tornado outbreaks during the summer months. So there is definitely still that potential for still major severe weather, but there's not as much in the months of April, May into early June. We typically get a lot of long-term breaks from severe weather in the summer months just to track, you know, those hurricanes and stuff. So definitely more severe weather could be expected here. A possible hurricane in mid-June or so. We'll keep you guys updated, but that's going to be it for today's video. If you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel. If you are new, we're approaching 20,000 subscribers. Also, make sure to share this video with any friends or family that may want to watch these types of daily weather forecast videos, extreme weather across the entire U.S. Also, like the video. We'll recommend this video to people who may be in the threat for extreme weather, or also may enjoy these types of daily weather forecast videos. But as always, I'll see you in the next one, and stay safe.